little piglet, see? It's a police! Move!
The third little pig is now being taken into custody, so the spotlight is once again shone on the grey area of homeowners' rights to protect their properties.
This isn't right. The 3 little pigs are the victims.
They down 2 houses. You got what you deserve.
But the pigs went too far.
You have every right to defend your property.
Keep your chins up, fellas.
Boiling someone alive hardly constitutes reason.
Somebody's got to break the law and intrude.
You can't protect yourself in your own home.
A man's home is his castle.
Someone tried to blow my house down, I'd do the same.
I knew the wolf. There's no way he could have blown down those houses. He had asthma.
The wolf had asthma. So what's the truth about the pigs' houses being blown down? Inside job.
There's no reason why those 2 houses, one made from straw, the other from wood, should have collapsed. Not even a healthy wolf's huff and puff could bring them down.
The 3 little pigs have confessed to conspiring to commit insurance fraud, framing the wolf in an attempt to cover their tracks. Their motive was financial, as they struggled to keep up with their mortgage repayments.
I'm behind on my payments too.
How could this have happened?
Lost everything.
WikiLeaks released thousands of documents and files that it says expose hacking tools used by the Central Intelligence Agency. The leaks purportedly show that the CIA is capable of hacking smartphones, computer operating systems, automobiles, messenger applications, and even internet-connected televisions. The series of files, dubbed Vault 7, consists of 8,761 documents and files allegedly from the CIA's Center for Cyber Intelligence. Though many of the tools detailed in the documents are the kind of things you'd expect from an intelligence agency, they provide an unprecedented blueprint for how the CIA could hack individuals they're spying on. Here's how they could work. Say CIA operatives are investigating a suspect in France we'll call John. According to the leaks, CIA hackers operate out of the US consulate in Frankfurt, Germany, using it as a base to cover Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. From the confines of the consulate, the CIA can track John's activities around France. The CIA purportedly has a few techniques it can use to hack into versions of Apple's iOS, the mobile operating system used in iPhones. The WikiLeaks documents detail malware, allegedly used as a hacking tool, that appears to remain on an iPhone even after it has been rebooted, a technique known as persistence. To gain access to phones and other devices, the CIA would exploit zero-day bugs, previously unknown flaws in the operating system's code, that they would collect and store. If the CIA hacks John's phone, it can bypass the encryption of messenger apps like WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, and Confide that John uses, and collect voice, audio, and messages before the applications encrypt John's text. To track his movements, the agency can activate the camera and microphone on John's phone without him knowing, and retrieve his geolocation. Even if his cell phone's powered off, the documents describe how the CIA can hack other internet-connected devices to monitor John's activity. Working with British intelligence, the CIA developed an attack that can place Samsung smart TVs in a fake off mode. So while the TV appears turned off, in reality, it's functioning as a bug and recording his conversations in the living room. The CIA also apparently has the capability to target John's wireless internet router to connect to his infected computer or access files. American CIA hackers can also allegedly leave false breadcrumbs to mask the operation's fingerprints and make it appear that it was carried out by another country. That can be done by inserting malware components from a known Chinese, Russian, or Iranian hacking operation, for example, into a US one. There's evidence the CIA has been collecting malware components known to work in overseas cyber attack operations. The CIA declined to comment, quote, on the authenticity or content of purported intelligence documents, end quote. But if authenticated, the trove would be one of the biggest breaches in the spy agency's history. A spokesman for the White House also declined to comment. The extent of the impact on U.S. security remains to be seen.
John Bolton,
Apple,
a former
Microsoft,
U.S. diplomat
and
and one-time national security advisor to former President Donald Trump, on Tuesday told CNN he'd helped plan attempted coups in foreign countries. Bolton made the remarks in response to accusations that Trump pushed a multi-pronged effort to overturn the results of the 2020 U.S. election in a last-ditch and potentially illegal bid to remain in power. Asked about this allegation, the former Trump advisor suggested on Tuesday the 45th president was simply not competent enough to execute a, quote, carefully planned coup d'etat, adding, quote, as somebody who has helped plan coups d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work. and that's not what he did. Bolton served as Trump's national security advisor in 2019 when Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido called on that country's military to oust President Nicolas Maduro, claiming a recent election was illegitimate. Bolton supported Guaido.
I can tell you there's a lot going on beneath the surface. The opposition is in constant contact with large numbers of admirals and other supporters within the Maduro administration.
But Venezuela's military stuck with Maduro, who remained in power. Pressed on Tuesday by CNN anchor Jake Tapper to elaborate, Bolton said he would not get into specifics and did not mention Venezuela, but said, quote, "It turned out not to be successful." Many foreign policy experts have, over the years, criticized Washington's history of interventions in foreign countries, but it is highly unusual for U.S. officials to openly acknowledge their role instead of their rest in foreign countries.
Donald Trump looking out for Donald Trump, it's a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence.
I don't know that I agree with you. To be fair, with all due respect, one doesn't have to be brilliant to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work, and that's not what he did. It was just stumbling around from one idea to another. Ultimately, he did unleash the rioters at the Capitol. As to that, there's no doubt. But not to overthrow the Constitution, to buy more time.
Asumir formalmente las competencias del Ejecutivo Nacional como el presidente encargado de Venezuela. Para lograr el cese de la usurpación, un gobierno de transición y tener elecciones libres. Si así lo hiciere, que Dios y la patria lo premien, sino que os condenen.
Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press. Just now in the Southern District of New York Courthouse, just behind me, Joshua Schulte, on his retrial, was found guilty of 9 counts, all 9 counts, Espionage Act in full effect, for the publication in WikiLeaks of the Vault 7 CIA cyber tools. In the first trial, there was a mistrial. This time he represented himself. We've covered it closely, and in fact, moments ago, submitted via Amazon, a 154-page booklet on the case called Brutal Kangaroo. That's the title. Brutal Kangaroo is one of the tools designed by Schulte. Now the question becomes, there's a status conference in 2 weeks. He has other charges pending against him. Maybe they'll be dropped because the sentencing of this would be pretty extreme. He's asked to come to the SCIF one day next week. He will. He's apparently still under special administrative procedures to be unable to speak to the media by any means. We've published, and we're going to continue on the case. Be looking for the book, Brutal Kangaroo, on Amazon and at Inner City Press on Twitter, because we are staying on the case here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Inner City Press, Matthew Russell Lee.
La financiación de Venezuela y lo que pasa en Venezuela es una chorrada que nos hemos inventado algunos locos, pero bueno, da igual, no pasa nada.
A mí, si hay un partido político que se ha financiado con el dinero de Venezuela y de Irán, me importa.
Antena 3 Noticias ha conseguido las imágenes que demuestran la conexión de la CUP, Podemos y el entorno de ETA con Nicolás Maduro.
Asesores que cobran de gobiernos extranjeros que están en lo peor en los rankings de la democracia.
Que los billetes de 500 llegaban de Irán y de Venezuela.
Que además se financia desde Venezuela.
Usted que ha recibido millones del gobierno de Irán.
Asamblea Nacional quien pide explicaciones del dinero que recibieron ustedes en CEPS.
Y usted que ha recibido millones del gobierno de Venezuela.
Documentos en manos de la Unidad Policial de Delitos Económicos y Financieros.
De Venezuela, de Irán, a Pablo Iglesias.
certifican que el objetivo era crear en España fuerzas y movimientos sociales afines al chavismo.
Los $272.000 que a su nombre fueron depositados en una cuenta en Granadinas.
Tú eres el intermediario entre Pablo Iglesias, entre los intereses políticos y la financiación de Irán.
Ya se ha aprobado que obtuvo 3,7 millones de euros de financiación.
Irán y Venezuela.
Que el dinero de los dirigentes de Podemos que han cobrado de Venezuela no sea una hipoteca.
La herencia en todo caso es que alguien financie partidos políticos en otros países democráticos, que es lo que ha hecho el chavismo en España, ¿no? Con Podemos.
Es amigo una facción y otra facción, unos de Podemos y otros de Vox. ¿Les une Irán?
Y el suyo es el de Venezuela-Irán.
He cobrado 600-700.000 euros anuales.
Sus aliados internacionales han sido los regímenes totalitarios de Irán y de Venezuela.
¿Esas pruebas las contiene usted en un pendrive?
Sí.
¿Lleva usted el pendrive?
Los que se han nutrido financieramente y los que se han nutrido intelectualmente. Por supuesto Venezuela, por supuesto Cuba, por supuesto Nicaragua.
Bajo el mandato de Fernández Díaz se creó una estructura policial para obstaculizar los escándalos de corrupción del PP y perseguir a sus adversarios políticos.
Good morning, welcome to the radio edition of the Guardian newspaper. Today we have an interesting documentary about what is happening in Ecuador, this South American country in which ancestral cultures are being brutally repressed by the police and the army for protesting, so that their ancestral territories are not repaired and that they do not proceed to mining extraction.
An event, seen from one point of view, gives one impression. Seen from another point of view, it gives quite a different impression. But it's only when you get the whole picture you can fully understand what's going on.